Hello my friends, what's up? Daki here and welcome to my new Retribution Paladin guide for patch 8.1.5. So some changes have happened since 8.0.1 and today I will go over them. Then we move over to the Azurite traits followed by talents, what is your rotation and some basic information on how to play the spec. You will find all links related to this video in the description below. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more and hit that bell notification to stay up to date. There are going to be timestamps in the description if you want to skip to a specific area. Anyways, let's get started. Let's start with what's new. First, our Divine Storm has been buffed by 20%. So now you can use it against 2 or more targets. Also, our Consecration has been buffed, but I still feel like it's not worth to swap from Wake of Ashes. You will sim higher with Consecration, but in world situations you don't always stand on one spot. So Wake of Ashes is just too good. Next, there have been some changes to our blessings. Greater Blessing of Wisdom will no longer provide healing, and our Greater Blessing of Kings has been buffed to provide a stronger absorption shield. This makes up for the Blessing of Wisdom. Also, since 8.1 you cannot stack your blessings anymore. If you had multiple red paladins, they could all use their blessing on one player, but since 8.1 this is not possible any longer. Now let's move over to the Azurite changes. Divine Right has been replaced with Empyrean Power. What Empyrean Power does, it makes your attacks have a chance to make your next Divine Storm free and deal additional damage. This change is amazing, especially for AoE. Red is no longer a wheelchair class in Mythic Plus. The next Azurite change is Zealotry, being replaced by Light's Decree. This increases the duration of Avenging Wrath and makes you deal additional damage every time you spend Holy Power. Who wouldn't love longer wings? I really recommend getting one of each from these new Azurite traits. They are very powerful for single target and multi-target. The most popular pick for our other rings traits are Light's Degree, Treasure's Covenant, Empyrean Power and Avenger's Might. But make sure to sim yourself as this might vary for you. For the middle ring traits, if you can go, you should go with Overwhelming Power, Gut Ripper or Heed My Call. I will leave a link in the description below with the Azurite trait ranking. Moving over to our talents, in the first tier you have Zeal, which will make you attack faster and do more damage after using Judgment. This talent is mostly picked in Mythic Plus dungeons or in situations where you feel like you're using Divine Storm more than Templar's Verdict. However, in Tyrannical weeks, I recommend picking Righteous Verdict because this is the best pick for single target and this will increase the damage of your next Templar's Verdict by 15% for 6 seconds. Last in this tier is Execution Sentence. This one is not a popular pick but could be used if you need to burst down a priority target. It consumes 3 holy power and your target will take increased holy damage. In the next tier, Hammer of Wrath is the most popular pick. It is our execute for targets below 20% HP and can also be used during our Avenging Wrath. It is a very good pick for single target and AoE fights where you need to snipe targets down that are at or below 20% HP. Note that Hammer of Wrath damage is higher the more mastery you have. If you want to worry less about an extra talent in your rotation, you could go with Blade of Wrath, which has a chance to reset the cooldown of Blade of Justice and make it deal 25% increased damage. Or you could go with Fires of Justice, which will reduce the cooldown of Crusader Strike and make your next ability consume 1 less holy power. Our next tier is our CC tier. You have the choice between Fist of Justice, which will shorten the cooldown of your Hodge every time you spend holy power, Sentence, which will CC a certain type of mobs, or Blinding Light, which will disorientate enemies for 6 seconds. So it is up to you to decide which one fits the needs of your group or you better. The most standard pick is Fist of Justice. In our tier 60, there's only one talent that dominates and that you should pick, and that is Wake of Ashes. Even though our Consecration has been buffed, Wake of Ashes just outperforms the two other in single target and in multi-target. In Sims, Consecration might be higher, but in real world scenarios you don't always stand still on one single pot. By the way, in Mythic Plus you should always use your Wake of Ashes to stun the ghosts during reaping. Next, tier 75, you either have the choice between Cavalier, which provides you a second charge of Divine Steed, very helpful if you need to move multiple times in a fight towards another location or just need more mobility. Unbreakable Spirit makes your Divine Shield a 3.5 minute cooldown and your Shield of Vengeance a 1.4 minute cooldown. Note that you can use Shield of Vengeance defensive and offensive. This is a difference between a good or a bad paladin. You can use it to take damage and make it pop on your target for a DPS increase. Our last choice is Eye for an Eye, which will reduce physical damage taken and deal physical damage to any melee attacker. It is a very situational talent, and I can see myself using this on skittish weeks in Mythic Plus dungeons where the tank loses aggro on a large pack. In the next tier, we go over our healing talents. To be honest, there are only 2 talents worth choosing from, and that is Selfless Healer, which will reduce the cast time of your next Flash of Light, making it free cast at 4 stacks. Or Word of Glory, which will heal a target plus 2 most injured targets. This one is your go-to pick for Mythic Plus, even though it is a DPS decrease, the survivability it provides is huge. Dead people don't do DPS. For solo content and PvP, I would go with Selfless Healer. Finally, in our last row, in here all 3 picks are viable. Divine Purpose has a chance to make your next consumer free and deal additional damage or healing, so RNG is strong in this one. However, this is my recommended pick for Mythic Plus or multi-target. Crusade is a more controlled talent and the most popular pick. You can pick this one either for single target and AoE. Also, since we are going for at least one Light's Degree trait, which increases the duration of Avenging Wrath by 5 seconds, it makes picking this talent a very viable choice. Inquisition used to be our go-to talent in 8.0, but it is currently the least popular pick. So this is how my talents look like in raiding and in Mythic Plus. Okay, so let's move over to our rotation. Well, it's more of which button has more priority over another button, since we do not have a set rotation as a Retribution Paladin. Here on the screen you can see our priority list. So if you picked Inquisition, then it's important to keep it up at all times. You preferably refresh it when 5 seconds are remaining of Inquisition. Also, it is important that you do not refresh Inquisition during Avenging Wrath, since this is going to mean a DPS loss. Okay, so if you picked Inquisition as a talent, your opener would be looking like this. First, Blade of Wrath, Judgment, Inquisition, Avenging Wrath, Wake of Ashes, Templar's Verdict, and then whether or not you chose Hammer of Wrath, you use it. Wake of Ashes should be used when you have 0 holy power, or at 1 holy power if your Blade of Justice is not about to come off cooldown. You should never delay Wake of Ashes unless you know that ads will be up in less than 20 seconds. So if you pick Crusade as a talent, your opener looks like this. First, Blade of Justice, Judgment, Crusade, Templar's Verdict, Wake of Ashes, Templar's Verdict, Hammer of Wrath, Templar's Verdict. Also, since 8.1, our Divine Storm has been buffed, so if you are fighting against 2 or more targets, you should be using Divine Storm instead of Templar's Verdict. So the message is, if you're going to cleave a lot, do not pick Righteous Verdict, but go with Zeal instead. So here I'm going to show you how to find openers of other players. So just head over to Warcraft logs, pick the class you want to find out the opener of. We're going with Retribution. Pick any of these players on any boss that you want. Let's go with Augustin. Click on Cast, Timelines. Pick the Red Paladin. And here you can see his opener. So you can already tell that he used Inquisition and he picked Hammer of Wrath. So his opener was Judgment, Blade of Justice, Inquisition, Hammer of Wrath, Avenging Wrath, Crusader, Divine Storm. So thanks to Warcraft logs, you can look at any player and find out what their opener was on each boss. This could help you optimize your own opener and get better at World of Warcraft. I will leave a link to a video that explains in depth on how to analyze logs. It has been made by Skeletor, who is a moderator and theory crafter of the Paladin Discord channel, so make sure to check it out down below. Now let's hop over to our stats, consumables and enchants. So let's first go over the different secondary stats. So you have haste, which will reduce the cooldown of your spells and your global cooldown. Also will make you attack faster and increase your spell casting speed, so it is important to have a decent amount of haste. Critical Strike has a chance to make your attacks and heals crit. Mastery increases the damage of your mastery Hand of Light, so this means that some spells like Hammer of Wrath do more damage the more mastery you have. And last, our versatility, it increases your damage and healing and reduces the damage taken. So peeps, when we talk about Retribution Paladin, we do not have a stat priority. There is only one stat that matters, and that is our primary stat, which is strength. Generally, item level will be more important than stats, and also our weapon damage matters a lot. So yes, that's right guys, you heard it, we do not have a stat priority. You will find a lot of top Retribution Paladin players who go for different stats. This means that for their gear, that certain stat will do more damage. So the best way to find out which enchant you should go and what gear will provide you with the best DPS, you need to sim yourself. However, you could go with full haste enchants to begin with. So guys, always remember to sim yourself after every new piece of gear you get to compare. Our stat weight do not matter, but the gear does matter. I will leave a link in the description on how to sim yourself. It is a video made by Teeth, who is a very reputable Retribution Paladin. As for consumables, you should always use Potion of Strength, Flask of the Undertow, and Eat from Feast whenever possible. If there is no feast, I recommend going for Boral's Blood Sausage. Alright boys and girls, this wraps up my Retribution Paladin guide for patch 8.1.5. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you would like to see more WoW content or other guides, please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. Thanks for watching and staying until the end of this video. Until next time, peace out.